Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Off season is in full force, and today we have a very big rumor coming out of the LEC surrounding Fnatic. And as you can see on the screen, this is what it is. Rumor Esports Maniacos, or Esport Maniacos. I always say Esports Maniacos, but I think it's Esport Maniacos. Stream today. Yamato out of Fnatic. Crusher promoted to coach the main team, and as some people have said, it's not really clear if that means like Crusher would become the head coach or if he would just be coaching the main team as like a coach and they bring in some new head coach. I don't exactly know for sure, and honestly I didn't really even know who this Crusher guy was. We're going to talk about all of that, but he does, this person does post a source, and he says, for some reason when I try to post this with the LOL or rumor flare, it gets removed, so well had to use discussion. I don't know, but he posts source, and here's his source. I don't know, maybe I guess I only checked it on mobile before, but yeah. So he says source, and then he just links this 6.5 hour stream. Doesn't even timestamp it or anything. But this was a Esport Maniaco stream they did today, where they go over, you know, a bunch of different just like rumors and news and all that stuff, and just kind of do their thing where they talk about stuff just like you know, they always do. They do a lot of really good shows and stuff, but it's mostly in Spanish. Every once in a while they'll have English segments and stuff like that. But again, it's hard to like look through a 6.5 hour stream to find specific examples, especially when a lot of it's in Spanish and I don't exactly understand what's going on. But thankfully we did have, you know, some people coming in clutch. We had Express LOL. He said, basically it's an Esport Maniaco stream translation with many rumors. He starts going through all the rumors, and then he had other people replying, saying things that they heard throughout the stream, or things that they heard was going on, or things they're translating or whatever. And here he says, there is a guy on the stream who is a caster with Ibai, and they're good friends, and jokingly says that Ibai would love to sign El Yoya. Kind of funny rumor, whatever, but it's unlikely because Malrong is so good. They also say that Yamato is out 99%, and that he may even be an LEC analyst caster next year. And they said Yamato's replacement is already at home, which I take to mean that Crusher, the academy coach, will be promoted to LEC, and that if Reckless wants to return, he will have to accept a team that fights to enter the playoffs. So we kind of get some Reckless rumors there too. It seems like Reckless probably won't be joining a top team, at least, you know, a projected top team or whatever. And I don't think that's really that crazy in terms of the Reckless news, just because a lot of the top teams already have really good AD carries in place, and like the only team that doesn't, you know, could potentially be G2, and Reckless obviously isn't going to G2. But about the Yamato news, again, I don't think that this is like super shocking, because I think there are probably going to be significant changes coming to Fnatic in 2023. Obviously this year was very inconsistent. Obviously this year a lot of things didn't work out. The team on paper was plenty talented, but you know, the players were just, like I said, always pretty inconsistent. They always didn't work together great, but the team also had, you know, some weird strategies at times, probably had some coaching and management and structural issues like Fnatic always has. Maybe they underperformed a little bit, but draft issues, all this kind of stuff. You know, when you have this good of a team on paper, at least some of the criticism is going to go towards the head coach. And now it just seems like at this point as well, you know, Yamato has kind of fallen below expectations in multiple different places now, and we're just kind of getting to the point where maybe Yamato just isn't that great of a coach. He's a really good speaker, a good motivator. He says cool stuff. He seems like a cool, nice guy. Seems like he means well, but you know, for a while it was like Yamato coaching like worse or kind of developing teams. And it was like, oh, hey, you know, Yamato's not really that great of a strategic coach necessarily. Maybe he can't develop young players, but maybe if you put him in a veteran team, you know, he can be a great leader for like a bunch of veterans who already pretty much know what they're doing for the most part and just need to be guided in the right direction. Well, that's what he had here at Fnatic, and things obviously didn't necessarily go as well, and we've heard of some of the drama that they've had over the past couple of years and all that stuff. Obviously, some of that isn't to blame for Yamato, but some of it, you know, has to come down on leadership at the end of the day. And just the fact that since Fnatic had such a weird year, again, you're the coach, you're probably going to catch some of the blame here. But yeah, I don't think this is that shocking. As far as this Crusher guy, again, I didn't exactly know who this was. Apparently this has been Fnatic TQ's head coach over the past year. It sounds like he was also, I don't know, working with Fnatic as like an assistant or something. I don't know exactly what was going on, but he was at least from Leaguepedia, you know, Fnatic TQ's head coach. Now, it sounds like the Fnatic subreddit isn't crazy about this guy. You know, they say Crusher, the same Crusher that had the same problems as Yamato in summer. No, I don't believe that. And I guess it must mean he didn't have anything to do with Fnatic, because they're saying Fnatic TQ was like a really, really good team in spring. They like dominated the Spanish league. And then in summer, I think they didn't even make the Spanish league playoffs. So, the same consistency issues and struggling in the summer and all that stuff that Fnatic kind of had is the same stuff that Fnatic TQ had. So like, why would Crusher be the guy you promote unless you just think that there was other issues going on? Who knows for sure? But they're saying that they don't believe that. But possibility he's going to the main team as a coach, but not the head coach. So I don't know. It seems at least the Fnatic subreddit right off the bat isn't super excited. The next type comment is Crusher is not an improvement over Yamato. And like people have said in the comments, I highly doubt the drafting issues are solely on Yamato. If anything, my suspicion is that he is heavily player driven, leaving Yumi open as a primary example. I think there's mostly an overarching issue that cannot be solved with the current team structure. To be honest, I'd like Yamato to stay in Fnatic in some capacity. I truly believe he could add a lot to our organization. But I don't know. It does seem like he's out. Again, we've heard this from now multiple places that this was said in the Esport Maniacos live stream, even though I don't have like a timestamp, I don't have a video or anything like that. But this is people talking about this on Reddit, Twitter, all over the place, and it makes sense. It's kind of something that it's not like totally shocking news. It's something that a lot of people could expect, but as far as him potentially going to the analyst desk or being a caster or whatever, I mean, he would be analyst desk. I don't think he would cast, but being on the analyst desk or being, a kind of talent to some extent or whatever, it would just be a huge pickup for the LEC. He is, like I said, he's cool. He's got a cool voice. He says cool stuff. He knows a lot about the game. He is intelligent. Maybe he's not the best, like, strategic X's and O's coach in the world or whatever, but he knows enough to be on broadcast. There's definitely a lower barrier for like analysts and stuff as opposed to like coaches. You just have to sound like you know what you're talking about to a casual League of Legends audience or casual competitive League of Legends audience or whatever. I think he could be a huge asset to the LEC, and this would be a big pickup in them just kind of leveling up their product and their broadcast in another huge way. I think he would make a nice significant amount of money, and he could still continue his content creation career because it seems like his YouTube videos and his streams and stuff do decently well, because again, this guy has like charisma and energy, and people just like to hear him talk. People like to see what he has to say and see how he goes about things. It's crazy because Yamato is like, seems like wise or mature or whatever, like beyond his years, because he's not that old, but it seems like he could be a lot older if you had to guess and stuff. So I don't know. Overall, I think this makes a lot of sense. I don't think Yamato is like the answer as far as at least head coaching for Fnatic going forward in the future. So I'm not shocked to see him gone. And again, I can't really see him like going anywhere else because I just don't think anything is pointing that Yamato's like a head coach that your team really, really needs right now. And I don't think it would make sense for him to take like an assistant coaching position or whatever, especially when, he has streaming, he has content creation, he has potentially the LEC and all these other opportunities that are going to be, just more financially better. But man, I would really, really love to see him on the broadcast desk next year. But at least the rumor coming out at this point is that Yamato's probably out at Fnatic, 99% according to this person's translation of the stream. Crusher could be the next head coach, could be a coach for Fnatic next year. I don't know for sure on that. But yeah, offseason is in full force. We are getting news. We are getting stories. And this is a pretty big one. Obviously, Fnatic, a huge team, huge fan base. When they're making changes, even if it's maybe a not super, super unexpected one, it's still a big deal. And, whoever Fnatic's coach is next year and whoever their roster is as well, because we could definitely still be seeing some Fnatic roster changes. I expect multiple Fnatic roster changes is going to really kind of determine how their 2023 goes and how they're able to bounce back from kind of a overall pretty disappointing year in 2022, even though they kind of made it somewhat salvageable towards the end of the year. But we'll have to wait and see. Pretty much it was the video today, guys. Hopefully catch you in the next one. Peace.